The stadium was filled with excitement as thousands of fans watched Shohei Ohtani take the field. For most people in the crowd, it was another unforgettable opportunity to see one of baseball's greatest stars. Cameras were recording, fans were cheering, children were holding signs, jerseys, and baseballs hoping for even the smallest connection with their hero. But for one young fan, one baseball meant more than anything else. It was not just a ball. It was a memory. It was proof that a dream had finally come true. The young boy had spent the entire day protecting it carefully. He knew exactly what it represented. It was connected to the player he admired more than anyone else. To other people, it may have looked like an ordinary baseball. But to him, it was something priceless. It represented Shohei Ohtani. For young fans, meeting a superstar athlete creates emotions that are difficult to explain. They do not see these players the same way adults do. Adults see statistics, contracts, records, and achievements. Children see heroes. They see someone who inspires them, someone who makes them believe that impossible things can happen. That is why this baseball mattered so much. The boy had followed Ohtani's journey and watched him become one of the most incredible athletes in the world. He watched the home runs. He watched the celebrations. He watched the moments when Ohtani showed why millions of people admire him. And now, standing inside the stadium with a baseball connected to his hero, he had something he could keep forever. His family understood the importance of that moment. They knew this was not about the value of the baseball itself. It was about the story behind it. It was about the excitement in their child's face. It was about seeing him experience something he would remember long after the game ended. But then, in a single unexpected second, everything changed. The boy was holding the baseball carefully. He was looking at it with excitement. He was imagining the memory he would have forever. And then the ball slipped. It fell from his hands. The moment happened so quickly that nobody could stop it. The baseball dropped away, and suddenly the excitement disappeared. The boy froze. The smile on his face changed. The crowd around him immediately noticed what happened. For a child, losing something connected to their favorite player can feel devastating. Even if the object itself can be replaced, the emotional connection cannot. The boy had imagined keeping that baseball forever, showing it to his friends, and remembering the day he was closest to Ohtani. Now he believed that memory was damaged. His reaction said everything. He was not angry. He was not complaining. He was simply disappointed, and that made the moment even more emotional. His family tried to comfort him, but they could see how much it meant to him. They understood that this was not about losing a baseball. It was about losing a piece of a dream. But what nobody expected was that Shohei Ohtani would notice. Superstar athletes experience moments like this constantly. Everywhere they go, fans are asking for pictures, signatures, and attention. They have schedules filled with preparation, media responsibilities, and team commitments. Many times, players simply cannot stop for every situation, and nobody would blame them. But Ohtani has always been known for noticing the small things, the things that many people overlook. As he moved through the area, something caught his attention. He saw the young fan. He saw the dropped baseball. But more importantly, he saw the expression on the boy's face. He saw the disappointment. He understood that this was not just a random object falling. This was a young fan having an emotional moment. And that changed everything. Instead of continuing forward, Ohtani stopped. That single decision immediately surprised the people nearby. Because he did not have to stop. Nobody expected him to. The game was continuing. There were countless fans around him. There were many other responsibilities waiting. But for a few seconds, Ohtani chose to focus on one person. One young fan. One small moment. And that revealed something much bigger about his character. Ohtani approached the situation calmly. He did not make the boy feel embarrassed. He did not treat the accident like a problem. He understood that mistakes happen, especially when someone is overwhelmed by an unforgettable moment. His focus was not on the dropped baseball. His focus was on the child holding it. That is what made the moment special. Anyone can create a highlight by hitting a home run. Anyone can celebrate a victory. Anyone can receive attention when millions of people are watching. But true character is revealed in quiet moments. Moments when someone has the choice to walk away or make a difference. Ohtani chose to make a difference. The boy who believed the moment was ruined suddenly realized something incredible. The person he admired most had noticed him. Not because he was the loudest fan, not because he demanded attention, but because Ohtani saw someone who needed a little kindness. The entire section around them began watching. People who expected to see a baseball game were now witnessing something completely different. They were watching a superstar create a memory. They were watching a simple gesture become something much bigger than baseball. And as Ohtani continued interacting with the young fan, everyone nearby understood that this was not going to be remembered because a baseball was dropped. It was going to be remembered because of what happened next. Because Shohei Ohtani was about to prove that the greatest moments in sports are not always the ones shown on the scoreboard. Sometimes, they're the moments that happen when one person chooses to care. And for this young fan, that choice would turn a heartbreaking accident into a memory he would carry forever. The moment after the baseball dropped could have ended in disappointment. The young fan could have walked away remembering only the mistake. He could have remembered the feeling of watching something important slip away from his hands. But because Shohei Ohtani chose to stop, the baseball was no longer the most important part of the story. The gesture was. For the young boy, the moment became proof that his hero cared about him as a person, not just as another fan in a crowd. Ohtani did not see thousands of people around him. He saw one child who was having a difficult moment, and he decided that child deserved attention. That is why the people nearby were so moved. They did not just watch a superstar athlete. They watched someone show kindness when nobody demanded it. The family watching understood something that many fans often forget. Professional athletes live under incredible pressure. Their entire lives are scheduled around performance, preparation, and expectations. Every game matters. Every decision is analyzed. Every mistake can become a headline. Yet even with all that pressure, Ohtani still recognized a small emotional moment. That is what made the interaction powerful. Because the easiest thing would have been to continue walking. The easiest thing would have been to let someone else handle it. The easiest thing would have been to assume that one dropped baseball was not important. But Ohtani understood something different. To him, it was a small moment. To the child, it was everything. That difference is what separates ordinary interactions from unforgettable ones. Throughout his career, Ohtani has become famous for his achievements on the field. His ability to hit powerful home runs, dominate pitchers, and compete at the highest level has made him one of the most recognizable athletes in the world. But moments away from the game have revealed another side of him. A side built on humility, respect, and awareness. Many athletes can become famous. Many athletes can become talented. But not every athlete makes people feel valued. That is why fans connect with Ohtani in a unique way. They admire the player, but they also admire the person. Teammates have often described Ohtani as someone who leads quietly. He does not need to create attention through dramatic speeches or emotional displays. Instead, he allows his preparation and actions to represent him. The same discipline that helps him handle pressure during important games also appears in moments like this. He notices details. He respects people. He understands responsibility. And this interaction with the young fan showed exactly that. The boy did not need a long conversation. He did not need something impossible. He did not need a huge public announcement. He simply needed someone he admired to recognize him. And Ohtani did. For children, these moments can have an impact that lasts much longer than people realize. A young fan may forget the exact score of a game. They may forget the statistics from a certain season. They may forget many details about a particular day, but they remember how someone made them feel. They remember the person who smiled at them. They remember the person who showed patience. They remember the person who made them believe they mattered. That is why athletes have such a powerful influence beyond sports. A simple gesture can inspire confidence. A simple interaction can create motivation. A simple moment can become a lifelong memory. For this young fan, the dropped baseball could have represented disappointment. Instead, it became the beginning of a much better story. Years later, he may not remember exactly how the ball fell. He may not remember every detail of the crowd around him. But he will remember that Shohei Ohtani saw what happened. He will remember that Ohtani stopped. He will remember that a player he admired turned an embarrassing moment into something special. And that is a memory far more valuable than the baseball itself. Because objects can be replaced. Moments cannot. This story also explains why Ohtani's influence reaches beyond baseball fans. People who do not even follow the sport recognize the importance of his character. They see an athlete who represents dedication, respect, and professionalism. In a world where many public figures are judged only by their success, Ohtani continues showing that success is not only about what you achieve. It is also about how you treat others after achieving it. The greatest athletes leave behind records. The greatest people leave behind memories. And sometimes, one small action can reveal more about someone than an entire career of statistics. The young fan came to the stadium hoping to create a memory with Shohei Ohtani. He did. But he received something even better. He learned that his hero was exactly the kind of person he hoped he was. The baseball that dropped was not the end of the story. It was the moment that allowed everyone to see something more important. The true value of Shohei Ohtani was never only measured by home runs, awards, or championships. It was measured by moments like this. Moments when he had every reason to keep moving, but chose to stop. Moments when nobody expected anything from him, but he gave something anyway. Moments when a young fan needed kindness, and he provided it. Because true greatness is not only about being the best player on the field. It is about making people feel special when you have the opportunity to do so. And for one young fan who dropped his only Ohtani baseball, that simple act of kindness transformed a heartbreaking moment into a memory that will last forever. That is the end of the video. Do you think moments like this show the true meaning of greatness in sports? Share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more Shohei Ohtani stories, MLB moments, and inspiring sports stories from around the world.